Hi, good afternoon. My name is Kara, Sales Director for Asia from Top Image System. With me, I have my colleague, Wei Hao, our Head Technical Account Manager. Today, I have to share a survey for trade finance done by ADB, the Asian Development Bank. Since the financial crisis, there's a global trade finance gap currently estimated at $1.6 trillion US. Of this, 692 billion is actually in developing Asia, including India and China. So what is contributing to this gap? Unnecessary supply chain and working capital costs due to inefficiency and lack of visibility. On top of this, according to the survey, cost and complexity of compliance with banking regulations, with 90% of surveyed banks citing AML and KYC requirements, impede their ability to expand. Then, how can we close this 1.6 trillion global gap? We believe digitization, which is our company's core specialty, is the key. Let Wei Hao take you through on how you can leverage on our eFLOW trade doc solution. Wei Hao.
Thank you, Kara. Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to you. So eFLOW Trade Docs, that's the name of the software that I'll be showing today. It's a good name. I rather enjoy that name. But what does it actually do? It basically reads and understands trade finance document like a human. So that's essentially what it do. The entire eFLOW Trade Docs process can be summarized and simplified into 2 steps. Step 1 is automated process involving artificial intelligence as well as natural language processing, right? So that's essentially step 1. In fact, that's the bulk of the show. Unfortunately, it's an automated system, it's an automated process, so there's really not much to see over here, but I'll still show you the logs. Now, step 2 is really the results of this processing displayed to a user. So step 1, step 2 combined is really the maker and the checker mechanism that I actually built so far, right? So without further ado, let's take a look. Now, we have here a typical image, a trade finance document. Now, obviously, this is a fabricated one, but this is fairly representative of the actual document that you see in a production environment. So a trade finance document is actually consists of a wide variety of documents here. So we have invoices, we have a bill of exchange, complicated invoices, so on and so forth. So there's a wide variety here. Now, let's just put this particular document. Earlier on, we have already put this into the queue for automatic processing. Let's run the step 1, the automated processing, all right? So let me just trigger it. Now, ironically speaking, I'm triggering it via the manual method. This particular station is supposed to be running automatically in the back end, all right? So usually you do not get to see a lot of activities happening because it's running as a service. So the document's already waiting in the back end, waiting to process. Let me just give a go-ahead to the system to start processing. Now, immediately, the system actually takes the documents that's waiting and start processing it. So all the intelligence involved are being triggered off, right? Now, in any document processing, the very first step, of course, logically, would be to first identify the documents, right? Hence, document classification. Let's trace back to the original activity here. So this is the part where you see the document classification. Now, there are a lot of ways to classify documents. You can do it by templates. You can do it by keywords, where over here we propose to do it slightly different. We allow the system, using the AI component, to basically read through the content and understanding what this document is all about, hence the classification. Now, once the document is being identified and got it out of the way, the system again goes about doing respective activities that's relevant to the document itself. So, like, for example, over here, the ability to identify duplicates, right? And it kicks off a series of activities like content extraction, data validation, and even document pre-sanction screening. Now, this is the end of step 1. So all that I just mentioned actually happened in this brief moment of processing. And this same data, in fact, technically speaking, most of the task has already been carried out in this brief moment. Now, the results will be displayed to the user in the second step. Let's go to see the results. So in the results stage, of course, we will have a proper user interface here. I'm the user. I'm coming in for the very first time, looking at documents for the very first time. Right? So here we have, let's go into the details. the results. So the first page of the document, as you recall, is an invoice. It's correctly identified. Now, this is not just the page that shows the meta information associated with the document. It also shows you fields that the system thinks that is relevant, it's probably important that you pay special attention to. Fields that are highlighted in yellow color, for example. And this is not only just a pure extraction. The system has a learning capability that tries to recall what actually happens before this processing. So for instance, this particular case, this drawing name, the system might probably be figuring, where have I seen this guy before? So it tries to recall that, yes, I do know this guy, and hence pick that up, and then off it goes, and become part of the candidates for recognition. Now, I did also mention about sanction screening earlier. So what actually is sanction screening? Sanction screening is actually having a user sitting in front of documents day in, day out, poring over thousands of documents, looking for words or phrases that's remotely suspicious using her memory. So we have it done here automatically by means of actually screening through every single word, every single phrase. So the words that you see over here, highlighted in green, are actually the words that are actually screened through by the system itself, automatically by means of actually using database, OFAC database, or even custom-built database. So it packaged together. Now, what we put here together as well is actually the ability to do, the name entity recognizer, a module with the capability to capture entities without the need of any dictionaries at all. So with that, I come to the end. Back to you, Kara.
As you saw, digitization offers real benefits to trade finance, allowing the convergence of the physical, financial, and document chain. This conversion allows banks and corporates to reduce costs and complexity, automate processes, improve working capital management, and reduce operational cost. Trade finance is the lifeblood of the global trade industry. At $692 billion in Asia, the gap cannot afford to get bigger. Right? Now is the time to ramp up effort to fill in. For those of you who are interested to see how we can stay in the game and become bigger players with sustainability, come to our booth and have a chat with us over a drink later. Thank you.
Thank you very much.